Um, and so I'll come back to what I had, what my ideas were for contests in a little bit. I want to lay some thoughts out there about what the other things that I see, the other things that I feel would be really beneficial to this page. So I already mentioned allowing each leader to have a voice. The influence, I kind of touched on that, but like one of the things that I have always been good at, and you guys have not benefited from other than one-on-one coaching, is being an inspiration and providing education through either team calls or even in this day and age, going on a Facebook Live on our team page and simply teaching. Say do like a Wednesday wisdom, and I can go on there at lunchtime and teach people. And of course, some of you, that might be your good thing. I know Sharon for sure is good at teaching. And so somebody who's talented in that area can show up and make that happen for people. Joanna even asked me last month, she said, will you start teaching again, please? She's like, you're so good at it. So I know this is sitting here. This is one of my benefits that I can be putting out there, and it's not being utilized because of what was going on. So that I want to be able to incorporate, but I want everybody to be able to individually use whatever talent you have to inspire and influence everyone else's teams as well as your own. That's kind of the setup. That's the idea, that each of us will bring our individual talents and attributes to the table. When put together, makes this perfect puzzle that will meet the needs of all the people that are coming onto our team and be relatable, like, to different people that are coming onto the team. I just wrote a few things down that I'm hoping that we can create as a culture, which is like kindness, love, and celebrating every win from small to big. Just going to be honest, this is where I have stunk in the past as a leader, remembering to celebrate every win, like even small things, like somebody does a first time Facebook post. That's to be celebrated. We can definitely do that, right? It's just one post, no big deal, but we can come on there and celebrate that. So everything from small to big, and then making it super fun. And I wrote a few things down as examples. Trivia questions on products. Tell your top 3 things that you love about our Plexus products. Drop, if we could drop like a week's worth of info and then do a fun trivia game on a Friday about the info that was dropped Monday through Thursday, and then do like a giveaway. Sharing the best part of your journey, just little fun things that we could engage everybody. And this type of thing to me is time consuming. So I would want to organize if we did something like this. And if anyone else has other ideas of like how we can make it fun, maybe we scrap everything I just said. And instead the fun part comes from like a Saturday morning coffee chat or something of that nature. I don't care what it is. I just know I want to make sure that when people show up to our team page, they feel like they want to be there. What do you guys think of anything I've said so far? Or do you have more to add?
I love the things that you mentioned so far. One of the other things that I want to throw out there for everybody else to kind of vote on is when I was talking to Tanya this week or last week, and she was saying that some of the leaders had come to her with different things that had come up that they were like frustrated with, or that sort of a thing. And I did a post today about, you can't do all the things every day. And I feel like we do a good job, but it's important for our new people to build the excitement and the belief. But once you get to that gold level, senior gold, ruby level, I mean, we understand that it's an up and down journey. So I think like talking about overcoming, or when you have a bad day, how do you snap out of it? Because that's something that used to really derail me for a long time before. And it was just personal development and that kind of thing. And even now, I mean, I've been doing this for so long, and Tanya has recognized, she's like, there's something, like, it's just intuition, or she knows me well enough. We've been through this enough. So like even the last day of the month, you guys, she just reached out and she's like, is everything okay? What's going on? Don't give up. And it was just that little nudge that I needed to, because I had given up. I was at 249 2 days before the end of the month. And then somebody must have done a return or canceled something, and it went back to 243, which is more than one person. And I thrown in the towel. I was like, well, I guess it'll be next month. And she's like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. So it's like just those little moments that I think where we all feel like we're the only ones that go through it. And it can be like a really good learning experience if we can talk about that in a positive way.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. What I would love to know, if anyone wants to brainstorm this and bring your ideas, is what format could we present ourselves to talk about those things? And maybe even how often do we do it? Do we use personal stories? Do we pick a day a month where we celebrate failures or celebrate, and maybe we don't even call it celebrating failures. We could call it celebrating failures. And I just did a post about this on my newsfeed and I got a lot of engagement because I was talking about how we need to celebrate failures because they're actually better than successes, because the failures are what teach us what we need to learn and then go do it a little bit better and a little bit better in order to finally get to the successful point we want to be at. So that's just a little bit for us to think about too, is like, how do we verbalize it? In what platform? Is it just such simply sharing some stories as we go? Is it an inspirational platform? So I love that. I agree with you, Sharon, from day one in this business. Even when we went to events, it was so intimidating, and it still takes place to this day. Like, we have a week at the end of the month that's called Magic Week. Well, that's great if everything is going well for you that month. But if everything's not going well for you that month, Magic Week is like the worst week on the planet, because everybody else whose month did go well is celebrating like crazy. And the more they celebrate and the more you look at what you didn't accomplish that month, the more you're like, oh my gosh, I'm such a loser. So yes, I think it is really, really important to bring that aspect up and bring it into the team page and talk about it. I love that.
Does anybody know the woman who created the company, the Spanx created that company, multi-billion-dollar company? I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at her story, she said growing up every day around the dinner table, her dad would ask her and her siblings or her brother, whatever, what did you fail at today? That was one of the things that they talked about. And like failure was rewarded because that meant you were learning. It meant you were stepping out of your comfort zone. It meant that you were trying new things. And I think if we could almost kind of create a culture of that around changing the perception of the word failure, it might absolutely help us all explode our businesses in a way that, like it is for me right now, I'm like having a light bulb moment, because that is one of the biggest things that holds people back, is that are those fears of trying something new, stepping out of your comfort zone.
I love that. I love how you talk about how it is just symbolic of stepping out of your comfort zone. That's really what it is. It's symbolism that you're actually doing the right thing. When you're staying inside your comfort zone and you're not failing, you're not moving, you're not growing, you're not going anywhere. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to think on that. That's a good one. Okay, so before I forget, there's a Facebook group page event next Thursday night. I'm doing a Facebook group page this time because I need to schedule it, because I will be at my own sip and see. For those of you who are going to be with me at the sip and see, if you get people who are not able to attend that night, make sure that they know about the Facebook group event. They can just chime in too. Okay. So if you're out there prospecting, and then I want to really, 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 really master our process, IPA every day, and the first post concept. If you guys are all in with me on this, I would really like those three things to be something that we're constantly talking about on the team page, at least for the next year, till we get our team into a motion of this being automated in their mind, that that's what they're doing. So I want to create a monthly IPA challenge contest. This will be pinned to the top of the page constantly. And I think what I'm going to do is just have everybody comment in the comment section when their IPA is done for that day. It's going to be on the honor system, and it's going to be a 5-day-a-week thing. So this correlates with what we were doing in the leader chat. I have not been dropping in there because I know that not a lot of you guys are not on board like every single day dropping in there, and I didn't want to take up space and whatever. But like I can show you right now, actually, I could share screen with you. I actually have my prospects list up, right? It's open all the time, my Excel spreadsheet, and all the columns are there, the dates I've messaged people, blah, 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 blah. So like, I'm still hoping you guys are married to IPA, but even if you have bad days, I want to use this challenge as a way for all of us collectively to keep each other on track, and then to teach our teams to keep themselves on tracks. Because ultimately, if you're doing the IPA every day, you cannot fail from your goals. So I would really like to do that. For contests for this month, I was thinking about doing something similar to what Joanna does, which is every 10 winners. For me, I'm going to do every 10 sign-ons, we're going to draw for a prize. Every single person that signs for the month will then be entered into a grand prize. If somebody signs and wins for the first set of 10 winners, and then they sign again in the second batch, they still have a chance to win. So you can win more than once throughout the month, and your name will be added more than once throughout the month for the grand prize drawing. How does that sound for you guys? Ashley, you had a different idea for a contest, right?
Yeah, I like that idea too.
So what do you, why don't you explain that?
We were talking on Saturday about doing 100, anyone who orders 100 PV or more gets entered into a drawing at the end of the month. So we would just keep track of putting our names in, and we were going to do $100, and we were going to split that with us. So we could not necessarily have a certain amount. We can kind of figure that out, but that was what we were thinking, just trying to get people to get their orders in and getting consistency. And it's kind of where we were leaning towards that.
Okay. If you do 100 PV contest, you guys, by the way, you always want to end that by like the 23rd or the 24th of the month, because you don't want to relying on their auto shipments, and then you're paying out prizes for people who are already going to order anyway, unless you're trying to reward that group, which is fine too. You can reward that group that consistently orders on their auto shipment as well. That's also an option, but just a heads up on that. One other reason why people will close a contest of 100 PV or above before auto shipments is on rank up months. So if they can use the contest to push people who wouldn't normally order full 100 PV and get those numbers in place before auto shipments, and they already can calculate what auto shipments are, then by the 23rd or 24th, they can really determine where do I need to be at, how many more points am I short before the end of the month. So they kind of have a kickstart on that. Did I explain that well enough for you guys to understand? So they can get a clearer picture of where they need. Okay, so what do you guys think on those two contests? Which route do we want to go? Or do you want to do both, or something completely different? Anybody?
I like both of them. I wonder if we should maybe alternate them.
Yeah.
One month and one the next.
Per
Is that what you
month.
mean?
Or even if we did the 100 PV, even if it was something small, like I'd sent you that graphic today of all the little different, like a t-shirt or a visor, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but even if we took our own people below us as leaders and did one drawing and gave away, like a $20 item or something like that, that if we wanted to do the 100 PV part, we could even break it, somehow figure that out. If we wanted to do both of them, it wouldn't have to be, if that makes sense.
So either use your Yes, just use chat. Can you guys go into chat and say, I want to do the every 10 winners, every 10 people is an option, the 100 PV or both. Can you just put it in the chat for me so I can see what we have for like a vote? And then the next thing we need to do as you're deciding that is determine cost of gifts. So if we did the every 10 sign-ons gets a gift, what I'm thinking is I will split it with each of you as leaders, depending upon who wins. So if Sharon's team is one of the winners, then Sharon and I will split that gift. If next one is Ashley's team, then Ashley and I will split that gift, that kind of concept. What do you guys think of that? And then I'll cover the grand prize.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, while I'm still collecting, let me look. Maybe I'll respond. Both. I like both. Every 10
I
people.
put it in the
I
leader
love
chat.
Yep, that's awesome. Okay,
Wrong
So-
chat.
you put it in the leadership. I love you, Gwen.
Long day.
Yeah. So we'll do both contests. We'll get that announced tomorrow. I'm also going to go live tomorrow on the team page. And just was trying to think of a time I'm going to do that, but I'll go live tomorrow on the team page and I'm just going to say, everyone, I'm going to introduce myself obviously, but I've been talked about on the team page and everything, so it's fine. But I'll say, everyone, please welcome all of your side sisters. We are going to come together and use this place as this one page as a source of resources, encouragement, etc. Boom, that's it. I'm keeping it short and sweet. Okay, so the people that are already on there have an introduction. And then I'm going to start dropping all of the information like onboarding systems, all of our welcome pack graphics and so forth. I'm going to drop that early morning at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning,
Mhm.
all at one
Sweet.
time so that the notifications not keep coming up on people's Facebook pages. So just some technicality there. Forgot one thing about the contest. I'm going to throw one more contest out there. We will not do an IPA contest this month. But I'm going to throw the leader that develops the most silvers by the 30th at midnight wins an option of a Kendra Scott jewelry or cash. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so right now, this team page is kind of important actually. This team page is currently organized very, very well. I really like it. I don't really want to get too disruptive. Ashley and I talked about this before she opened this page about like, what would you do to roll this out and make it organized so that it's effective and efficient for the leader as well as for the people that are coming on the page, because not everybody has time to be dropping stuff every single day. So definitely scheduling posts is one of the things. And so what Ashley did is she labeled every single day had a point to it. So like I had mentioned what Wednesday wisdom or Tuesday is testimonial Tuesdays. I don't even remember what she has them all laid out as right now. You're welcome to tell everybody, Ashley, if you want.
Well, we start Monday. I do Monday motivation,
Motivation.
and yeah, and it doesn't even have to be Plexus related. It's just a general, because like we were talking, we don't want everyone who isn't working the business. We want to include everyone, whether it's daily life, product users, or the work in the business. And it was just, that was kind of the goal, was to include everyone where they felt comfortable. So yeah, Monday motivation is just, we come up with a kind of a quote just to start. It's kind of a good starter for the week, to boost everyone. It's a new week. So it's a pretty simple thing for Monday. And then yeah, Tuesday, testimonial Tuesday, Wednesday, wellness. And then Thursday and Friday was usually whether we had events or, I might hear another really good testimonial or, oh, this is a really good product video. And then those were kind of just dropped in. So.
Friday follow-up is really good too. So from the business standpoint, Friday follow-up is
Oh,
good.
yeah.
And what they do is they break it down. One leader per week manages that entire week of those individual posts. So obviously other people can come onto the page anytime and add somebody and celebrate somebody, or, post something that's important that they saw that was informational and educational, or whatever it is they want to put on there. But for those specific posts, one per day, Monday through Friday, one leader is responsible per week. I would like to continue to do that. There's 8 leaders right now. If we add more leaders, we'll just keep a larger rotation, and you'll be responsible once every 8 weeks. As we add more leaders, you'll be responsible once every 10 weeks. Does that make sense to you guys? You can schedule all of these posts so you don't have to do it per day and all that good stuff. And then outside of that, like I said, you can go on there and do what you want. One thing I wanted to do is one time per week, I would love for whoever's in charge to do a Facebook Live that talks about doing your first Facebook post. Either from the standpoint of somebody just generally doing a first Facebook post, you can shout out somebody who did it and had great success, or even just had one person that they signed, let's say. Or even had no people sign, just somebody did a Facebook post and just shout them out. Or you can get on there and talk about the first time you did a Facebook post, or what a first time Facebook post looked like. You can run a contest and ask them to, whoever does their first Facebook post, I'm giving away a 3-day sample of your choice, something like that. But one time per week, I would love to run with this until it picks up steam. How do you guys feel about that?
I
I
like
think
that.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And I
that's
will
basically-
add, like, where we were, part of the reason in like the rotation is it helps for sure. And one person's not doing it all, but I think it also helps for everyone to see multiple faces. You don't just have one person, because then if you get another runner, then they're going to feel comfortable. We want them to get on the page. And that was, when I was telling Tanya, when I post stuff on the testimonials, I get all these likes from random people that I've invited before because they must have seen my name pop up. There's a notification, but any other time they don't comment. So that kind of balances out like different leaders, different sponsors, to where they know, this is a group effort and everyone's involved on it. So that was another good reason on doing that.
I'd love to even get to a place where we can collaborate with like group Facebook Lives, where like I would come on and I'd have a new level 1, like Carrie is a newer level 1 of mine, and she's having all these really good anxiety benefits, and do a Facebook Live on the team page and welcome her as like my guest, and just say, Carrie, will you share with people what your story has done for you? But we can actually have a conversation like it's an Oprah interview or something like that, and just talk about things like it could be talking to a brand new ambassador about their health story. It could be talking to somebody like Sharon about her business journey and the ups and downs and different things she's learned and how she's grown and all of that stuff. And same with all of you guys, we all have so much to share, so much. And then really getting the rest of the team involved, right? But in the beginning, they might not be like on board to do it, but the more they show up to watch us talk, the more they might be like, oh, sure, I'll share my testimonial, because they'll be more comfortable to do that. We can also take that to a team call. I mean, I'm open to absolutely anything you guys have for ideas. This is getting to be 45 minutes now, so I don't want to get too much into that, but maybe we can set another schedule for next week where we all bring our ideas, or 10 days from now or whatever, when it works out for everybody. Oh, I know, one more thing and I can let you go. The stacked contest for this month, I asked in the leader chat if you guys understood that. I didn't really get much of a response. Do you guys understand that the incentive contest for this quarter is a stacked incentive? So if you re-rank one position, so let's say you have somebody who has 9 people and 44 points. Okay, they're one person away from senior silver, and they grab onto senior silver by the first week of the month, right? They add one person. So for sure, when everybody kicks in, they're going to be senior silver. And so they decide to go for gold that month. They're going to get, and this is somebody who has already been a senior silver. They've already been a senior silver, but they've fallen below. Okay. So they get the first person in the first week, they decide to go for gold. They're going to get their re-rank bonus of senior silver, which is doubled what senior silver normally is, which is 150, doubled is 300. And then if they hit gold by the end of the month, they're going to get double gold bonus, which is normally 250, and they're going to get 500. So just in their bonuses, they're going to get $800 for re-ranking and then ranking up. Sharon and Gwen are probably like, why didn't I wait a month? Go ahead.
Right. No, but I didn't think
That's
on the
crazy.
re-rank, I didn't think it was doubled on the re-rank. I thought it was just doubled on the new rank.
It's doubled on the re-rank.
So I have a question on that too. So like I've been very consistent in staying senior gold. So since I didn't fall below senior gold, I will not get anything for that. Which
Only
so it's
the
like why
double
didn't
rank
I
up.
not?
Because you're a boss,
I mean,
girl.
I can be consistent. I'm like,
Well,
I'm
Sharon,
working my way more.
Sharon,
You'll get the consistency bonus though, Hannah.
yeah.
Yes, but
And then there's
I
the
mean, I'm not
consistency bonus.
complaining, but it's $100 versus all these double re-ranking
Right.
bonuses. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's kind of how I'm in the same boat, because I was like, man,
Yes.
I went over Ruby, then I didn't go under.
Yes.
So I'm sitting right where you are, girl.
Okay.
And
I just was curious. I'm like, what?
you have the next 3 months to get yourselves to senior Ruby, which I know will not be an issue. But when you go there, you're going to make a $1,500 bonus to go senior Ruby.
Oh yes, because it's
Yeah.
because it's
Double.
April, May, and June, right?
It's this month, May and June. So bust your booties and use this as a means to really help your team see what they can take home. I mean, even for if you're talking a brand new person that starts in their first 30 days, they get $100 fast start bonus. They get $200 for going silver, and then they get $300 for going senior silver, which you can easily do in a given 30-day time frame, in a 1 month time frame. So what was that? One, or no, they're going to fast start. Then they fast start senior silver, which is, what's a fast start senior silver bonus? I don't even know. Is it 150?
150, 150.
Oh my God. That's 450, 550, 650, 750, and bonuses alone for somebody to sign at the beginning of the month and make it to senior silver by the end of the month for the next 3 months. You guys, that is a ton of money. Use that as motivation for your people. I am actually going to do a video, a Facebook. I will tell you guys in the leader chat when I do this, but I'm going to do a story on this. And it's going to be about how about taking our products for free, grabbing some friends and having them take their products for free. And then I'm going to break it down for them. And they're going to see that not only are their products going to be free, but they're going to take home a wad of cash. I'm going to do a video on that and put it up in my stories. So y'all can copy me if you want and like do your own thing. But there's so much money. That's so much money. It's crazy. I don't even know if Plexus has ever done anything quite like this before. I don't remember it. I've never recall anyone getting $1,500 for ranking senior Ruby. Holy crap. So it's a lot of money. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. I just want to make sure you guys understood that that is a stackable incentive. If you're smart, you'll re-rank senior silver and then lose it and then re-rank. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
I just was gonna say, like, I have a new gal that just signed like a few days ago that's getting her welcome back tomorrow. Has one of her major issues is anxiety. So I reached out to Carrie and I got her testimony, and she actually posted it on her story today, but it got me thinking that I don't know a lot of your guys's testimonies and stories either. So can we add that to the list of whenever it's your week to post that you also do a short little live and share your testimony, because there's nothing for me when I first started, and even now, the best thing that I can do is when somebody brings up what they're dealing with, I can just boom at the top of my head say, oh yeah, my sideline sister Ashley dealt with that and blah, blah, blah. But even like on sidelines, if I have somebody's name, sorry if I'm lagging here, if I have somebody's name, and especially it's nice for me to know that if that person really wants to talk directly to that person instead of just pulling a random person off from the Plexus product testimonies page or something, it's just, it's so nice to know all of your guys' stories to have in my toolbox.
I will add to that, Sharon, until everybody goes. That is actually what we did on our testimony Tuesday. I did everyone each week. We picked someone from our team and highlighted them until we kind of ran out. And we've been using some others. So when you get on there, if you do hashtag testimony Tuesday, you can find all of ours if you want to go ahead and use them before someone has reposted. So
Ashley did
that'll be an
that,
easy way to.
by the way, and she has some incredible testimonials. And one of the girls I found on her page, and I was like, holy crap, this girl's testimonial is insane. And so I shared it. Unbeknownst to me, the girl did not want it going public, but it made Ashley have to go back to the girl and say, oh my gosh, my upline leader accidentally shared your story. Do you want her to take it down? And it kind of pushed her to be like, no, that's fine. She can leave it out there. And now she's slowly coming around to sharing her story. So,
Well, it actually made her even type up a testimony by watching them. Like she literally just sent it to me and she said, I really like the testimony Tuesdays you're doing. So this seems kind of long, but I really don't know where to shorten it. I was like, no, it's perfect. But it got her just watching every single week. She just typed up her own testimony. So we're working on sharing it publicly, but that was the other thing in our group. It gets people to write down their story, but not, they don't want it out on Facebook yet, but it gets them to actually write it down and share with a few people that they're not ready to share it. So it's been really good.
Yeah. And I think that same thing is going to happen on the business side too. Like obviously Ashley has been able to celebrate a lot of wins for her team, but the more of us coming in there and sharing our wins as we grow and so on and so forth is also going to rub off on other people. I just don't want to ever lose. I don't ever want this page to become just about the business. So I hope we're all on the same page for that one, because I just don't see that. There's so much more to Plexus to talk about. But even with what Ashley is saying, let's think about that. Let's try, as we're moving along here, then getting our own downlines to write up their stories, and then we can use those on Testimonial Tuesdays. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And even when we're sharing our own stories, I mean, we're not going to each have a week that often anyway, but even if you were to share your story one time and then you rolled around to your week again, there's always a different part of your story you can share. So I would encourage that too.
Question, are you going to start a whole brand new page for a team page, or you're doing this in Ashley's page?
But it's not Ashley's page, because this is how we got screwed up with Joanna's page.
I'm confused.
It's currently Ashley's team's page, but we're all coming together and it's going to be our team page. And it's going to be called, it is called Live in the Pink Life, which is ironic, Sharon, because that's where we started.
So I told her it's a full circle. We've started, no one was using it. I took it again.
I'm coming in.
You guys don't know this, but my very first team page, and it was my team page for a very, very long time, was called Live in the Pink Life. And so when Ashley had to go make her team page, she's like, I still like that name and I'm doing Live in the Pink Life. And now we're coming together as our team page on Live in the Pink Life again. So it's like, wow, okay. God has an interesting way of working things out.
Yes.
I'm
How
sorry.
How about Joanna's other page?
You're fine.
Sorry. How about Joanna's other page? Are you detaching from that or still using that?
Well, me as a
I
leader, I
detached
will
from that because my people got lost in there.
Yeah.
And I started my own page.
In terms of what you guys are doing, you will detach from Joanna's page. You and your teams will detach from Joanna's page.
I don't mean the team page. I'm talking about her testimonial page. I think a lot of the team is in there.
I was
The
not,
health and wellness lounge.
yeah, I was not anticipating leaving there. I was thinking we would all still use that. Unless you want to.
I already did because my people got lost in there. And so I remember you're in it. I started a testimonials page and product info and added my team to it.
I think as long as you are using a testimonials page of some sort, you're fine. Because I use more than one testimonials page. But I do use the lounge and I plan on continuing to. What do you guys think?
I have a lot of people in the lounge because I've used it since I started.
Mhm.
So I probably won't leave.
Yeah.
Because I don't
I'm
want
not
to.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
That's one question I have too, Tanya. What do you recommend for if we do have a bunch of people? Because we like to make it simple and easy and not cause drama and, oh, why are you leaving kind of a thing. How are you going about, or, like for me and people on my team that are in the Dream in Joanna's page, what do you suggest for moving people out of there and into a new page?
I would just simply tell my team, I would say the current team page is made up of two separate jewels trying to run their large teams. And it has gotten to the point where it's very challenging for any one leader to be able to really directly connect with their downlines. So in order to have more of a family-oriented, connected team page for everybody to be able to chime in and be engaged and actively understanding what's going on, we've decided to break that apart so we can have a smaller space to do that in. Does that work?
Mm-hmm. And the one last thing I want to say is thank you to Ashley for allowing all of us to come in and share equally in your team page, because I started a team page before. I know how much work it is to own that and to get it started, and it's just a lot of brain power to lay it out how you want it to be and stuff. So thank you for letting us all join in and share in your team page and for doing all the pre-work to set it up.
Oh, you're welcome. Annie and Hannah have been great helpers too. So it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And I will send out an invite to all of you so you can go ahead and get in there, and I'll get that done when we get off the call.
Yeah, and then I'll do a follow-up message because I really feel like there's still so much more to talk about, like how do we want that layout to the page? Because Ashley and Annie and Hannah have gotten started, but like even Ashley was talking to me today about there's no onboarding documents. That stuff is not on the page yet. That I am going to be working to get some of that on there, but there might be stuff that you guys are going to think about that I wouldn't think about that would be important to have on that team page. So those types of things we can come together again and get a little bit more detail oriented. So if you guys want to be thinking about that, dropping down ideas, events is something we haven't even talked about. If we ever want to continue to run events like 14-day challenges and things like that, we got all that stuff to talk about yet. Okay. Anybody have anything else?
One last thing, when we get put in there, could you make us moderators right away so that we can approve our people coming in?
Yep, no problem. Thanks for the reminder. Are you good with all this? Annie, Hannah, Caitlin, Marcy?
Yep.
The quiet ones.
Well, I got shushed by my children because I'm downstairs with me, but it's over now, so they don't care.
So
They're
you're
like,
getting shushed by you're getting shushed by your children, and I'm sitting here wondering if you guys can hear the music in the background. Can you hear the music? Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Is there a little bit of like
It just sounds real quiet.
some bumping going a little on?
There
a little
is some
bit.
thumping going on. Yeah. My college
Yeah.
my college age son came home and he's like, Mom, I'm gonna have a party. I'm like, okay. So yeah, they're outside that door having a party. But I couldn't
Oh,
tell
there
him
you
no
go.
because he never brings his friends over, like ever. This is the first time he's
Yeah.
ever had his friends over. So I'm like, okay. Okay, Annie, are you good with this? Caitlin? Marcy?
Yeah, totally good.
Okay, cool.
Sounds great.
I just want to hug Annie.
I'm good with it.
Cool. I was thinking the same thing, Gwen. Is
I'm
something going
sending her a
on?
virtual hug. She's so cute. I'm gonna go because I gotta tell my girl good night.
Yeah, I'm
Bye,
good.
ladies.
All right. See you later, guys.
Okay.
Annie,
right.
Annie, is your husband leaving soon? Is that why you're so sad?
No, I don't know if he's leaving or not.
Okay, I
I
didn't
mean,
know if he.
I have a sister that leaves here soon,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but well, it's their job, so
Doesn't make it any easier.
yeah.
Okay.
Is that what's
Well,
on your
sending
mind,
hugs.
honey?
What did you say?
Is that what's on your mind?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just ready for a regular schedule.
You mean at your home? And with everything that's going on with your husband?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, sweetie. We're here
It's
for
okay.
you if you need to talk.
I'm okay.
All right. You guys take care then.
All right.
Bye.
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 Hugs and love for Annie.